Hey, everybody. Holy, I'm such a nerd. I totally didn't realize I was doing this during the Super Bowl. But this is one of ones where I'm not going to be talking very much, so maybe you could be doing both at the same time. So we had a big advance in the last week. John did this work on our world builder. I don't want to go into detail, but we can make much bigger structures now inside the world builder. And during one of the streams, somebody recommended putting pyramids in the desert. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do right now. I'm going to see how they turn out. I'm like grossly unprepared for this because I've been in front of the computer all day, and I was going to prepare for this, but I was doing other stuff. I was actually working on music most of the day. So I'm gonna just jump into this cold, and I'll leave the mic on for a while, but I think it's gonna be rough to concentrate. Like this stuff is when I do this, it's for real. It's not like a show, so like it takes a little bit of concentration. But yeah, let's jump into it. So first of all, let's jump into the world a little bit. We adjusted the last stream we had lighting issues. Oh, we can't see. Wait a second. There we go. The last stream we had lighting issues, but we fixed a lot of that stuff. I actually want to look underground because there was the trees get distributed differently because of the way that the world builder changed. So they're in different places now. We always use the same world for testing, but so we get used to where everything is in the world. Like I know that if I dig down into this hole here, right in this corner, I go into a big void underground. It's weird how you get used to these maps. And then the last thing we do when we finish developing is we turn the random maps on. So yeah, the lava's looking good. Our fluids are looking good. The light, this actually is the way it's supposed to be. We fixed a lighting issue down here. I could throw a couple lanterns in just to light this area up. Oh, there is a lot more pillars in here now. This is one of like the large cave voids. Almost looks like an error, but it's a big thing. We're gonna make light is gonna be an important part of the game. Wow, this actually looks good. So the way that you use light is going to be important. Let me turn my light off and just kind of look at what we got here. Probably have some work to do, but there's these big voids in the cave now, and they have pillars like this. Yeah, this is the caves have these big voids in them. Again, we're still trying to balance the lighting out to figure out what stuff looks like. And because our worlds are so deep, we could support caves like this now. This is our lava. Let's take a look at this. I guess when I do this stream on Tuesday. Oh, the maps are seed based, but for development we always use the same map so we can predict where stuff is. Like you get to learn where stuff is on the map. This is our flowing lava. It's funny, I'm afraid to touch it even though I can't die right now. Let's go down a little deeper. We didn't really get a chance to do this during the other stream, and you guys are choosing to be here instead of the Super Bowl. So I'll give you a little preview for the Tuesday stream. The caves are way more complicated and different now. There's big caves, there's little windy caves, there's lava in the caves. And we have so many more plans for what we're going to do inside the caves. Like I have like a whole list of stuff. Big copper deposit there. You can see that it's really kind of cool. Let me turn my light off. Is that like hell kind of lights up the the rest of the map now. So you get these really cool things where you look down. We can pop down into hell here really quick. We got lava pouring down from the ceiling. Exactly sure why the sky was blinking there. Someone's asking about cross-platform play. I really don't know. I would support it if I can. Definitely have some sort of problem there. I don't know why the sky is turning colors, but anyways, coming along really good. There's water down here too, but it seems to be more rare for some reason. I have to figure out why that is. The other thing is you just can't see it a lot of times. Just we'll just shoot out to the moons really quick. Oh, it's nighttime. It's good to see this stuff in the day. And we have our waterfalls coming off of things. See the water is flowing down. We also have pools of water down here. But also, which is cool, is I don't know if this is working now, but our sand drops now. Just want to take a screenshot of that. So really cool. Side. Drop out to the this oasis over here. And we'll do like a nice sunset. I think I posted a screenshot like this. So the first thing we have to decide in the desert is I have to figure out places I would put the pyramids. So hop into our stuff here, and it's going to be dropped in this. It's going to be dropped in the same way that the trees are dropped. So I'll just copy that code over. So I have a distributor for trees. Let's take that and we'll go and we'll do this in the desert. I don't think we'll build these separately. Where this stuff gets complicated is actually no, this can't work like this. This has to be done like the trees. So yeah, that's in a different place. So let's see. We want to make sure that this appears like the deep desert. So, man, I'm in. I've been making music since somebody's asked me about the music. I think I'm gonna release the soundtrack for the game as its own, like as like an album on Spotify. That's what I'm planning for right now. Uh, it's a weird thing is that people in the game industry are typically musicians. It's a weird thing. Everybody on the project has been musicians. I've played guitar since I was like 11 years old or something like that. But everybody's been in bands. I think John at one point was like on tour in places. I know that Heinz has a studio in his home, but like there's some weird thing with game developers being musicians. I don't exactly know why. And it's funny as I get older, I realize that game developers are a really weird breed, and um, we don't kind of fit in anywhere else in the world. We definitely don't fit in a corporate environment. So so yeah, it's like and the music in the game was always a really big deal for me. I think that like on some level, like a music is a important and fundamental part of who I am. So I'm taking it very seriously. Okay, let's go back. Let's go. I'd actually like to get something done here. So let's. This thing rolls over the world in blocks, and I have a see how this works out. But this is the first time I've been able to do this because our chunks used to be really small, and now they're very very big, which allows me to do big things in the world. So we're going to go back to the tree distributor, and I'm going to pick up this is what I need from it. It's been a long time since I programmed in C++. Um, I never really thought I would do it again, but this is all Unreal stuff. And, I spent probably the first almost 15 years of my career programming in C++, and then I did everything in C sharp after that. But so it's like a exercise to remember like how to get back to this. Uh, okay. This is fine for now. I just want to see how this works. So, not spell the word pyramid. So what I'm gonna do here is we'll just make a line here. And I'm just going to put some spikes in the ground to see where the pyramids are going. This is going to be the center of the pyramids. This is where I should have been doing this all day. It's been a couple days since I've done this, so I think it's like, thank you, AI. Actually, works like exactly what I wanted. Okay. Yeah. Wow. That was an AI completion there, which is pretty trippy because that was sort of exactly what I wanted. So let's just hit this. Nope. I brought this over already. Okay. Someone's asking how long the world builder script is. I don't know, the C++, this used to be structured different. It's about 2,000 lines of code. This used to be structured different. It was like broken up over several files, and I've, over the last month or so, like condensed it together because I've done so much work with it. Let's get in here, and if we did this right, we should see a bunch of pillars in the desert. So let's fly out to the, should probably, and they should be distributed like trees. So there we go. Yeah. Okay, so we got something going on, right? It's way too many of them, even for testing, probably. So let's reduce that. So we're going to reduce that by changing the discriminator on the pyramids to something higher. Little changes here make a big difference. So I'm imagining they'll probably be like 1 out of 10 of everything that we got. Out there. Yeah, so that was my guess. Probably 1/10 of what we got. They'll have to be way less than this in the end because we don't want pyramids everywhere. We want them probably as common as the oases, but this is actually probably still too many. Let's put them down and then we'll make them rare later. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set, John has given me this really great function to return to a location. So I'm going to set a checkpoint there. And now we will start figuring out the tree logic. They're squares, so I guess it doesn't really matter how they're oriented. I guess they'll be axis aligned. Somebody's asking here when the beta signups will end. I think when there's too many people in there, they'll sign up. But so far, it's like there's been a good response, but not. It hasn't been. There isn't like too many people in there. But I will for you guys on the stream here. I'll give you the link for the beta. I also haven't been advertising it very much. If nobody knows what we're talking about, I have a sign up for betas here. And let me find the link for that. I'll pin that to the top. So if you want to sign up for the beta, there it is. We usually give them out in order of the way that people sign up, or for extremely supportive supporters, we always make exceptions for that. So if you and this is a very important thing for us because this is usually we don't employ any testers. This is usually how we test our stuff, is that we roll things out as limited betas and collect information. Somebody's asking, the beta will definitely be on PC because it's the easiest thing to get stable. The game hopefully will eventually make it to Xbox, but Microsoft has more to do that than I do. They have to allow us to be on Xbox. So let's define a couple things here. We need the height of the ground in the desert. So that's actually an interesting problem. Ground plane offset here is -20. It actually thinks that maybe I should make that be something that is everywhere. I want to test this before I go into, like, I always like to build things with small little tests. I want to make sure that I found the ground properly, so I can adjust the height of the pyramids properly. So I think this is it. So what I'll do here is I'll go from, this will also, let's define this right now. We'll have to have different height pyramids too, so we'll have to figure out how to do that. And we'll make this the slime block. And we won't test it because it should be at ground level if we did this right. And we should be able to shoot right back out to our place. And there's our slime block. And if we did this right, it should not be underground. So I'm going to dig a little bit and see, oops. And it is underground, which is not a good sign, but not very much. Oh, because it's at the ground level. So, okay. Perfect. So we go from pyramid base plus pyramid height. Someone's asking if the pyramids are just decoration. I don't know. Like, should they be? Like, should they be? I'm starting to think now. See, this is the way that stuff works. Is now that I'm making the pyramids out of sand, and I'm thinking I really now I have to add like a limestone, which is not a big deal. But like but I want to see if they look cool first. Oops, wrong button. I'll just start over. There's like a million key combinations that I have to remember. And I've been using other tools today. Perfect. I don't know. That it would be a big pyramid, but we could see what that looks like. So I guess what we do is on every level, every progressive level, we just build a bigger square. And that should get us like 90% of the way there. And that's a pretty easy thing. So yeah, so how would that work? If we be easier to not have to calculate the size of the square at every point. So if we start at the top of the pyramid, actually we could just do this then. This actually is much more elegant. And we're going to walk down to the bottom. Just make sure that works really fast. Asked me an interesting question here. They said, how did I feel when the game was no longer on the 360? You have to understand that this is like more to me than like a job or something. Like this is something that I made that I loved. It's like a child. And I remember them shutting the system down in 2015. And the last night before the system, I remember the date, I went to the marketplace and just looked at it. And the coolest thing about that was CastleMiner Z. I mean, you guys are amazing. Like CastleMiner Z was still the best-selling game in that system. I think it released in 2000 and 12 or something like that. And from 2012 until 2015, like it never left the #1 spot on that night overnight. And I just remember logging in on the last night of 2015 and looking at the Xbox dashboard one more time before they pulled it out. It was super sad. It was, I remember in the middle of the night I pulled this out. Um, I would have loved to make XBLIG games forever. So it made me sad when they shut that system down. And since then, there's never really been a system like that again. Okay, so let's just make sure that we're not penetrating the ground because that means we got everything right. Perfect. Okay, so this should pretty easy. Every time we step, let's define a width, and every time we walk down, this is going to be a short stream if this works out. I'll end this with a Q&A if this is really fast. I actually thought this would be a lot harder to do, but now as I'm thinking about this, this is actually going to be pretty easy. And we're going to walk over. We're going to have 2 loops. One of them is going to, we're just going to go from EX is going to be negative. Well, wait a second. Every time the width. No, that's right. PX is negative base width to greater than positive base, less than big. We do the same thing on Z. Or we could try putting something cool inside the pyramids. Somebody's talking about how CastleMiner Z gave them nightmares. It's funny. I've had a bunch of CastleMiner Z nightmares myself. I had a dream where it was zombies, but their fingers were guns. It was pretty awesome. And it was like one of those like lucid dreams when like you're just about to fall asleep and it was like, whoa, and then it was like, ah, and then I was like, man, that was cool. I should put that in a game. Like they were crawling and they had gun fingers. Okay. And we're gonna just do the same thing. We'll keep it out of the slime. PX is plus PX. Y world Y and plus PZ. And if this turns out, then this stream is going to be super short. We'll have to figure out something interesting to do with them. Actually, the hardest part about this is going to be to get them different heights and into the desert in the right places. That's going to be where they're not everywhere. It's going to be much harder than making these things. So let's go back to our spot. Oops. Heck. Can't remember all the keys. Control 1. Here we go. Yeah, it crashed. Yes, yes, yes. This is a problem. I have to make sure that I'm not stepping. I can't step over a boundary when I do this. So this is a legit problem that I have to solve. I have to figure out how wide these things could be. So what does that come out to be, the math? I got to think about that. It's the height of the pyramid. Every time we go up the pyramid, it's 2. So it's like 2 times the height, I think. Actually, that's too big. That's a 50 by 50 pyramid. They'll almost never show up. So let's just start at 10, but I think that we have to do and then half of that. Oh, it's just the number, it's just the height. So yeah, so that actually works out good. Okay, so it's And what this does is only steps into places where the things can be made. So that actually sounds about right. Oh, there they are. Interesting. Okay, they're little. There's this interesting thing here, whereas the bigger they get, the more rare they end up being. So now let's just try to make bigger. You know what I could do is I could distribute the different size ones like at 3 different passes. Oops. Nope. There's bigger pyramids. We're kind of getting there. I think those are 20 high. Let's do a 30 and see what that looks like. And let's start making these out of sand. I would add limestone to the game, but it's the process to do it is complicated and boring. Like very so, and man, I like it. One of the things that I want to be able to do is put prefabs down. And I could imagine putting down like sphinxes too. How these look from the ground. I've never seen the pyramids in real life, but I'm imagining they're much, much bigger than this. Put like a tomb on the inside or something would be super cool. That would probably take more than an entire stream to do. Are those 30? 50s work. These are. Oh no, there they are. That's pretty freaking cool. I gotta say, and it's probably the right size. Wow. We have too many palm trees now to fix that. Let's see if I could frame a good shot here. And I'm gonna send this off to the team and be like, thank you for giving me my big world builder. I had a lot of discussions about John if this would be useful or not, and I was trying to tell him that, like, no, I want to be able to build giant things in the world. It's interesting. It's so big that it's really hard to get it in frame with anything else. Somebody here is talking about dungeons, and the game that we had that never got made was CastleMiner Dungeons, and it actually came out a long time before we were working on it before Minecraft Dungeons, and I have a whole plan for a game that's all about uh, CastleMiner and dungeons. I would love to roll them together because going underground and going into the dungeons would be super cool. Oh, I cannot frame this one right. And this would be my... Oh, no, there's one back here with a light behind it. This is going to be like the thumbnail to the video. This is great. Get the trees in there. Nope. Interesting they cut off. This is good. This is good. What are we already 40 minutes into the stream here? That I think that let that one aside. Oh, whoa, that's a good screenshot. Wait a second. That was surprisingly easy. So, there's a couple different ways we can handle this. Trick is we don't want all the pyramids to be the same height. So I can try to do it based on their location. Or I could just do 3 passes and do 3 different size pyramids. Really not obvious to me which one of those is the right thing to do. It's definitely easier to do it in 3 passes. Does it make sense to have a variation of heights, or do we just need like 2 heights? Either way, I'm gonna do. Oh, there's a way to do this really easy. I should pull this code out. Um, John is much more familiar with this IDE, and he's always telling me I can do things easily by. Okay. We'll just do this in place. I spend a lot of time refactoring code when I'm offline. Um, I don't think we're going to get any bigger than that. Oh, this totally has to be its own thing. This is like going to be so redundant otherwise. Yeah, let's do this. Let's build pyramids. Finance P. Oh, yeah. This is the sort of the most rewarding development experience that you can get, where you are spending most of your time making something instead of debugging it. I think that's all we need, actually. Okay. How should this work? Actually, let's put this back. Distance check there. Height, base. Let's take this, that off. That location vector. Oh yeah, how do you usually pass that into these things? It's minimum. Side. Yeah, that passed along. Okay, so and then we'll need something else. I got a trick. No, that's another thing. So surprised that this is such a simple noise calculation. Okay, so we should now be able to say we got a variation here. So we terrain, pyramid height 50, noise channel 0, and we can do another one at 30 and another one at 20. There's going to be so many of these now. Yeah, they're penetrating each other. That actually might be a hard problem to solve. That's actually probably a harder problem than any of this, unless we make them rare enough for that. No, I still would have to figure out a way to reject them. Oh, check that out! It's the caves have cut into it, and the sand is falling down. That's pretty awesome. On the ground and see what these look like. The smallest of these. I like it. I like it. Gonna make them even more rare. And every time I bump it up a little bit, it makes a huge difference. So I'm curious to see if we see any of them. Okay, so my test usually for stuff like this is that, we broke. If that's even related to my stuff. If you can go across the desert and see one of these, it's probably the right amount. Like if you take a beeline across the desert and you see a pyramid. And believe it or not, it's really, really hard to get things to be as common or rare as you want them to be. I still think maybe there's too many palm trees now. It's a lot of palm trees. Oh, there's one. Okay. So if we see, well, 2, 3, 4, okay, a little too much. I wanted to do work on the desert because the desert is so boring. Like there was nothing in it. Oh, we're at a crash site. That's cool. Let's go underground. And I always want to see the lighting under these. They should be kind of like lit up by the lava and slime. Really seem lit up enough. Ooh, the pillars look. Oh, here we go. The lighting kind of adjusted. Cool thing about the ray tracing is if you punch a hole to the top side, it will actually let light down in the inside. Little detour here. I'm going down here. I kind of want to see. Have the brightness of the lava turned way down. I'm wondering if it should be more. Let's look up the slime tubes, not my desktop. Why does this feel wrong? Another way to do that. This is all John's stuff, but I've been balancing it. Yeah, this is it. Those up too. We had them really bright. Oh, that's an idea. Drop that in half. Nothing to do with pyramids here at all. Always kind of wanted the bottom sides of these things lit up by the slime. But this stuff is like really glowing now. Oh, somebody's talking about acid pools in the crash sites. I really like that. I'm gonna write that down. It'll be easy to do when we got the liquids. And I have a whole thing I did on the bottom of these crash sites. I made the bottoms of the crash sites interesting. We could have something like that. Someone's asking about the ship date for the game. I'm hoping it's the summer. Like I don't want to. I hate saying this stuff if that's not true, but that's the in my head. That's what I have. Man, the pillars in the crash sites here. This is like badass. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. Too many pyramids in the desert. Um, oh yeah, build the pyramids. I'm trying to think. This is a one-dimensional noise. I actually don't think it gets much higher than this. I don't really. If this isn't work for us, I think that may need to do something much different here. Actually, okay, let's try this first. The way this stuff is distributed is a very complicated um, mathematical thing, and hard to get stuff to appear, but then not appear too much. I guess that's the best way to say it. So let's do our test again. We walk across the desert and see if we find a pyramid. We should find like one. That's probably the right distribution. It's hard to get stuff to appear, but then appear, how to explain it, like individual things to appear in places. A little unformed crash site. Okay, so we did not see one. There we go. It's actually probably how they should show up. And another one. The big ones are going to be very, very rare. And we may have to actually adjust that. I actually think that that's the right distribution. And if that works, that's great. I could just leave it. But we're never going to see a giant one. We're just going to get a bunch of these little ones. So what we have to do is make the bigger ones more common, and we have to allow ourselves to do that. So this is actually, this is the number that decides how common they are. Small ones we leave high. As we go higher, we will down. It's definitely, I think this one probably needs to be 8.8. That's probably a good distribution. Let's try that. Not seeing pyramids all over, which is good sign. Not finding any, which is actually good because it means that we haven't flooded the world with pyramids. It's a really hard thing to do though, because it's hard to understand if they're too rare or not rare enough. So we'll travel sideways across the biome. See if we can find one of these. And we have our small pyramids, which we've seen before. If I can find one big pyramid, I'll be very satisfied. I feel like there should be some sort of desert. Oh, look at this. Is this a pyramid that intersected with the crap? No. I don't know if pyramids and crash sites, like which ones should go down first. I my hair up with like the ancient aliens. Like who wins? Here we go. Who win? Ancient aliens. Who wins? Crash site. Pyramids. Suspicious here. This looks like a larger one. I guess I could count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know why I'm doing that because it's not like I can. Oh, and the sand's going to fall on me. Great. It's difficult for myself. Wow, that's a bug. All the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think I miscounted. I doubt this is a 30. 1, 2, 1. Oh, shit. It's the most boring thing ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Is there 10 more? Okay, so that's a 30. That is a 30. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's a 30. Okay, so we just haven't seen a 50 yet. Let's roll the 50s down to 0.75. I actually think this is a good distribution. If we see giant pyramids all over, we screwed up. But otherwise, I think coming across like a giant pyramid would be so cool. sending pictures of this to the team, and they're already getting excited about cool things we could do with the pyramids. Okay, we're not seeing pyramids everywhere, so that's a good thing. We got our favorite little pyramid. I see this as like, these are cool. I think this is this is a placeholder, and we could do some cool stuff with this. So it's weird. I'm like anxious to see a big pyramid, but if I see it too fast, then I actually think the little ones actually might be too common. If I see it too fast, then I know that I made a mistake. But I still would like to see. I'll turn it around. Okay, let's. Oh, wow, big crash site. I feel like I probably should have found a big pyramid by now. I'm gonna give this another second or two. And this is a mid-sized pyramid. It isn't a big one. And there's two next to each other. That's cool. Let me, what I would do here is I would roll this back. And the little ones, I'd almost roll up a little bit. So let's try it again. Let's fly across the desert and see if there's we can get a big pyramid to appear. Oops. I will go a different way. It's possible I should find a different way to do this. There's probably another. Somebody's asked about tumbleweeds. I don't think there's tumbleweeds in this type of desert. It's more of like a African desert. Could be wrong. Oh, somebody said thank you for the streams. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, especially during the Super Bowl. Here's me making pyramids in the middle of the Super Bowl. Oh, there we go. No? That's pretty small. It's cool that one showed up in the dunes. That'll look cool if it's a different type of rock. Someone's asking if it's coming to PlayStation. I'm a registered PlayStation developer, so I hope. To be honest, in the past, Sony was always easier to work with than Microsoft, but that was a long time ago, and I don't know. Sony was actually always very anxious to have our stuff on PlayStation, but there was logistical reasons why we couldn't do it. Someone's asking if the world is large. The world is much larger. It's about twice as wide and twice as deep as it was before. I still have not seen my big pyramid. Okay, I'm going to bump this one notch down. We're going to try it again. This is now as common as the trees, so it's really kind of surprising to me if we don't see one now. Wondering if there's a mistake because this, I think we were doing the tests with giant pyramids. And I thought we were using those same numbers. 0.65. Oh, no! We were doing it wrong. Crap. There's going to be pyramids everywhere now. All of that was a waste. It's going to be giant pyramids everywhere we go. Yeah. Okay. That's a mistake. Okay. Let's go back up to where we were before. Let's go 8996. Let's see what we get. I don't know how to undo that when I accidentally do that. There's a whole bunch of key combinations I do, and every once in a while I do the wrong one. Okay. Whatever that was for the small pyramids was probably correct. You guys are probably getting used to the, okay, that's a small pyramid maybe? I feel like counting. I should make them out of different stuff. This looks like a giant pyramid as soon as it loads in. Yeah. Okay, I've seen 2 so far. This probably is too common. And we got another one here and another big one. Yeah, these are 2. Oh, 2 big ones next to each other. Okay, yeah, way, way too common. Can't believe I did all that, wasted all that time. Okay. This is one of the most tedious. I told you we would make the pyramids in a couple minutes, and we would spend the rest of the time trying to get them into the right distribution, because this is the most tedious way to do it. And I don't have a really good way of doing it outside of just flying around. I have a tool that helps me model this stuff, but it doesn't really give you a good idea of what things are. But I saw one pyramid, so if I see another big pyramid somewhere, um, before the stream ends, I want to do one more thing, is that we are going to run our Kickstarter eventually, and it would be great if people just signed up to be notified by it. And any kind of support that you give us, we appreciate, even if it's just moral support. But having people sign up for the Kickstarter gives us an idea about how many people are actually interested in this. So I'm going to change the pinned link to that. Oh, is this it? That is a big one, right? Should we count them? Just to make double sure. If this is it, then we're done. Because that was about the right. It's weird how it did that. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Should be about halfway. Yeah, where is that? Wait a second, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. There we go. We did it. I think that, oh, it's like Endor, what is it? Tatooine. Do 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 do. Here, let's drop to the ground and do it. No, I actually like that from a higher angle. It could be like Luke Skywalker. Looking off into the distance. Good, these will go on social media tonight. Well, that's cool. That's a wrap. That turned out really great. We got them down. We got the thing. So there's more details that have to go into this. I think this actually looks pretty good. So I think we'll probably add like a limestone material to make this complete. And then I got to put something inside the pyramids to make them interesting. But the fact that they're there and they're distributed right is a cool thing. So I appreciate everybody dropping by. Like and subscribe right now. And any support you can give us to our YouTube channel really helps us out at this point. And if you can subscribe to the Kickstarter, the links on the top, that would be great too. And I appreciate everybody dropping by during the Super Bowl. I'm sure that I really appreciate it. I have so much gratitude for you guys coming along. So thank you very much. I will see you later.